Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 78, and today we will be doing battle with Lulu, Poppy, Yordles. And so, this is a deck, we've touched on this briefly. We played this in a Gauntlet video a couple videos ago, but this is our first chance to actually bring this deck to the forefront and make a full video for this one. And so, it does feature some of the new cards from the World Walker set. We're going to be playing Paparo the Great, and then also Demacian Tellstones. Both of these pretty powerful. Paparo, I feel like, is kind of underrated at this point. I haven't seen too much from him visually out there. Not too many people running the Yordles, and if you're not playing Yordles, there's not much reason to play him. But he is a value generating unit, and it's very easy for him to provide more than 6 stats for 3 mana. And so that all adds up to pretty powerful kind of abilities. We usually expect to get 6 stats out of a 3-drop. If they have upside, then that's great. But it's not unrealistic to think that this can't provide +4, +5 attack on the first one, and then just immediately be like 8 stats of unit. And if he gets to attack twice, it's just tons of stats. And so Paparo does bring a lot to the table. The only downside with him is he doesn't boost himself. And so whenever you're making your big attacks, your opponent usually aces him pretty quickly. You can try to protect him with Lulu. You can try to protect him with Brightsteel Protector, but usually you're going to expect to get 1 attack out of Paparo and then he's gone. And so he's one of the new ones. The other new one here is Demacian Tellstones, relatively powerful. All of the modes here we're pretty excited to use, whether or not that's putting a Prismatic Barrier onto Lulu, generating a 4 Demacia to close out the game with, or playing a Detain as a removal spell. As we are trying to play this big board style deck, we don't have the deck building space to include a bunch of concerted strikes and include a bunch of Vanguard Sergeants to generate the 4 Demacias. And so the Tellstones really let us kind of consolidate in and get a lot of versatility out of a single card. But with the new cards out of the way, I feel like this deck really has 3 pillars that it stands on. And the first one is this unit growth kind of aspect. And so when it comes to Poppy, the thing I always have to mention first is, it's better if you get to boost 5 units than 2. I think it should be fairly obvious, but it's worth saying because that's what a lot of our game plan is going to revolve around. We don't want to make a lot of trades. We want the full board so that Poppy can grow everything. And then it also ties in to our card selection in the deck. We're only playing 5 units that cost 3 or 4 mana, and then we also have the champions that boost that up a bit. But when it comes to how you're sequencing your plays and trying to get maximum advantage out of Poppy, it's often very beneficial if we can, say, play a 1-drop on 1, a 2-drop on 2, but then on turn 3, we play another 1 and another 2 as opposed to just playing a 3-drop, right? Because then if we get Poppy on turn 4, we have an extra unit that gets the stat boost from her. And if somewhere along the line, say we got a Yordle Explorer on the board and we follow that same path, the Yordle Explorer may get 2 bonuses on that turn 3, and then the Poppy gets an additional 2 bonuses as well. And so if we just played a 3-drop, we would be missing out on 3 stats in total. And so, for the more experienced player, it may seem really common or very straightforward to understand, but that's where a lot of the deck building decisions came in here, was kind of trying to set up these boards to where we could just spew as many units down as possible. And then to kind of like help lead into that, we do have a bit of this Demacia Challengers package. We're playing 2 Fleet Feather Trackers. We're playing the 3 Petricite Broadwings along with 2 Brightsteel Protectors. All of this fits back into that same theme. And so if we can start with the Fleet Feather Tracker, we can play the Brightsteel Protector on turn 2 and give it a barrier. Then we get to come in and take down a unit without losing our unit. Like, that's just a standard, card advantage-y, great kind of play, but it does let us build up a board to help strengthen up our Poppy. The kind of flip side to that, though, is you will see a lot of decks like Scouts that really want to come out and just trade away that turn 2 Fleet Feather Tracker. We're not as amped about doing that here. We might get to wait until turn 3, use Lulu to boost the Fleet Feather Tracker. We might get to wait until turn 4, use Poppy to boost it. And so we're typically going to err on the side of caution in terms of how we get our units on the board, and we'll typically avoid trades unless we just don't have ways to boost our hand, or if our hand is something we can like spew to the board after the attack or something. There'll be times when we want to do it, sure, but just kind of keep in mind in general, we're trying to get maximum bonuses out of Poppy whenever she attacks, and so you should typically err to the side of caution to get that kind of thing to happen. The third pillar that we build on this deck is the Golden Aegis, another card that works fantastically with a full board. As you can imagine, attacking with 6 units is better than 2. Yeah, I'm all about the mathematics here. I love bringing the mathematics right to you, and that's the way it works with Golden Aegis. Attacking with 6 units is oftentimes better than attacking with 2. But this is a card, of course, where when we have cards like Paparo the Great that boost on attack, when we have cards like Poppy that boost on attack, getting additional attacks with the Golden Aegis provides us bunches of synergies out there as well. And so with that being that's it. That's a nice little quick overview for what we're doing battle with here today. As you all know, before we get into the battles, we do have to pay the pay-to-win price, and we're pretty close to done with this deck. We do have the Tellstones out here ready to be turned premium. You get the premium card generating other premium cards, just double premium. Gets us all those bonus wins. Feels pretty good. So I'm ready for it. Let's get in there. Oops, we forgot Teemo. I feel kind of bad. Like the way that these decks kind of operated in the past where they're very Yordles and arms heavy, and then you would oftentimes just include Teemos in there so that he could give the boosts or get the elusive boosted attacks in, but not quite the way it's working here anymore. With this, if we had a challenger, I would feel good about keeping the Brightsteel Protector, but without it, I'm going to come out and search for a 1-drop. And so Lulu is okay to keep. I want to find a cheaper play here and just much, much better curve. Looks good. I initially thought Bird the Bell Ringer was going to be borderline unplayable outside of the Chimes decks. Boy, was I wrong. This guy's good. Okay, though. We should be safe against this Ash LeBlanc deck here on turn 2. Not a ton of units that they have they can play for 2 mana that would shut down this attack. And so that feels pretty safe, pretty good. This is another space to where it would be kind of nice to drop a 2, like a 1 and a 2. He came out pretty aggressively with the Glory Seeker, but if he's going to try and bait out an attack and get something to get a good Lulu attack is where I'm trying to get, we could just pivot and play the 2 smaller units and save her for next turn. All right, all the Broadwings. Looks good. Let's start with 1. Even if we didn't draw Broadwing, I was going to suggest we start with 1 so we would still have access to Sharpsight. And I'm a little perplexed now that he's not playing any cards. There's not a ton that can really punish us for a second Broadwing. I don't think we need to wait on the Sharpsight. The kind of counter argument to that would be it would be nice to boost one of these Broadwings with the Yordle Captain, but I kind of envision us just playing the Captain and the Squire next turn and then having a full board open on our next attack token. Just a weak draw from the Spider Mansion. Oh, we're just going to win the game this turn? Apparently so. We didn't even need the rally. Wasn't the particularly strong draw from opponent though. All right, good job, Lulu. Yeah, man, I thought that bird, it blows my mind, like how good it is just immediately putting that bonus in your hand. It's such a similar ability to like Omen Hawk, and it just feels so much stronger. It's wild to me. All right, reasonable enough start here. I would typically want to mulligan away the Sharpsight, but it can have some uses against Ezreal Caitlyn if we want to try and block an Ezreal early. But I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of it. I'd rather have an engine card here. If we need to interact with Ezreal, we do already have 2 Challenger units in our hand. All right, ring them bells, bruh. So the question we'll come up to next turn is, do we want to play around something like House Spider? Deathray, not used to seeing Deathray come out of this. If we want to stop and bank up a bit to the Ranger's Resolve, then we could drop the Fleet Feather Tracker and bank the mana, but I think with the status of our units now, I'm good to just drop the Broadwing, even after the boost came to the Tracker. It's like the Broadwing is pretty good at shutting down all of their plays here. Okay. Nice little value attack. Alright, we don't have great answers to Caitlyn, but that's fine. We can just come in and take this point of damage here. He's not going to have anything else happening this turn, so let's go ahead and drop the tracker. I'm going to drop the Conchologist. Is that where we want to go? Do we want to drop a Conchologist? Maybe not. Let's drop Bird. Then we'll have Ranger's Resolve mana for next turn. So we do have to worry like a touch about a Flashbang Trap hitting, but it's kind of far away. I saw the animation and was like, oh, fuck. We missed, didn't we? That turned out okay. Give me that good Ranger's Resolve. Oh, man, tap out. Let us get a good one. Play the Caitlyn Burn spell or something. Chain doesn't... You can definitely take down the bird from here, but... It's going to take him a ton of mana to get out of this. Okay. Nice little 7 boom coming through. All right. I was scared. I was scared. Too many visuals coming through. This Inspiring Light is pretty tempting. This is one of these cards to where you say, "Oh, that's just shitty," but oh man, this is gonna have the opportunity to give us so much stats. Okay, I'm in. Gonna Scorched Earth our captain. Ooh, a beam, even better. Okay. Okay. So we'll have the 6 mana next turn for Poppy. There's a good chance that she just gets boomed here. But, I mean, if he's been... damn it. But if he's been spending, like, the full mana to take down a big boy, there's a good chance he can't stop Poppy here. Yeah, okay. Alright, dude. Be lame. That's what this guy seems to be.
Manners? Turning yourself in? Manners?
So this is, you know, it's gone against the themes that we wanted to do. We would ideally not be having to make any trades here, but you know, if we hadn't lost our Poppy, that would have all played out quite nicely. Oh, perfect draw on Paparo, though. Perfect.
I think we have something on that case.
Oh, bring the thunder. I thought they took this kind of thing out of the game. I thought that the cards weren't allowed to generate themselves. Not complaining, but I thought that's what happened. And an 8 cost? That's how you come out and pick up some mana. And more Paparos? Oh man. We have to get this Mirror Mage on board. It's just so good if we're gonna get double followers next turn with Paparo. Yeah, that might be too greedy just to play him. Like having 3 of these things on the board and generating the mountain of stats is huge, but man. I have too much trouble passing up on the value. All right. We're gonna get to keep the Mirror Mage. So ready to bring this heat. Oh, this is gonna be choice. Oh no, no Scorched Earths. Okay. Maybe, maybe. Get him on the puff cap plan? Aight. I'm ready. That's how we're gonna win the game. We're gonna puff cap him out. Sweet. Nice. Oh, I gave up on it too soon. Too soon. He didn't even get to squeeze the butt cheeks. GG. I knew that was going to be sweet. I thought they took that out though. Maybe that just has to do something with Celestials, or I can't remember. I thought you couldn't, or maybe that's with Manifest. You can't manifest yourself. I have to ask resident rules guru Conanson and see what he says about says about the generation with Paparo. All right. Reasonable enough start. This is a pretty tough matchup against the Viego deck, but it's like we're both doing a similar thing as to where we have this like board build-up plus reach, as I like to call it, and their board build-up gets so much bigger than ours, and so it can be a little tough. Alright, here come the bell ringers. No Vile Feast, please. One time. One time. Okay. I asked for the one time and it didn't come. Alright, let's bring that aggro thunder, I guess. What'd you get? All hits on the Broadwing? Okay. She can't block here. We could drop the Bright Steel. I was leaning more towards just going into next turn, but we fall like fairly far behind. If he gets like the Elise and he gets the extra Spiderling on board. This should be enough to just get a shutdown for the turn. Lulu. Not quite ready for her. Start with the Squire. I'm going to pick up the shield. We can use the shield onto the Broadwing, or we can use it to protect Lulu. I think that's all well and good. Here comes a turn for the Broadwing. Then we can roll into next turn. Maybe get a big open with Lulu or something. Uh-oh. Got more stuff? Disintegrate. Alright. At least we get a 2-for-1 out of it.
I pull the strings.
So the question I think we're going to start to roll into now is do... Oh, I thought we had an extra mana. We just have to Golden Aegis the Lulu here.
All the colors. Ready, Hammer? Off we go!
Takes the value block. Okay. We gotta get this damage chunking through. That was not a particularly ideal draw in Lulu, but maybe it'll work out. Maybe he'll play the big deserter this turn. Ah, Jesus. Okay. I think we're done. I think we're probably done for in this one. Just too many problems. We got shut down too fast. Poppy says don't give up, though. Don't give up. I got you. I got you, fam. Maybe this is why the Lulu showed up, was so we could whimsy down the Hydra Vine.
Sure you want to do this?
Alright, no disintegrates. That was kind of cool. Sad face from Vigio here. Alright, no more units, though. Man. Oh, I thought... That's stupid. I was like, why didn't our Lulu flip? And she has to get the support in, not just the attack. That's dumb. That's dumb. You all agree. Alright, we got him to 8. Maybe we can draw some more Paporos and just go super wide here or something. I'm still not feeling good about this, but you gotta have a hope and a dream somewhere. Okay. But yeah, like my current feeling on the format and what I expect to see is the rise of Viego is going to be the top dog of the format. Whether or not that is Viego plus Shurima, or if that's Viego plus plus the Deserter, that's what this deck is. They have that same core of playing all of the Encroaching Mist kind of cards. You get a little bit more control-y kind of stuff out of Shurima. You get a little bit more consistency with your Viegos because you can search him up with the you can search him up with the thing, whatever it's called. I can't remember the champion, where you sacrifice a unit and draw a champion. But I think both of those decks are just going to be extremely popular in the upcoming meta. We'll take this one. Ideally, we're not going to get like a Lulu attack because it's going to be too late. But ideally, we'll have something to take one of these down.
Let the commerce commence.
Can we make it?
In this timeline, we're sure to save Icathia.
I think we're good to just pass. I'm kind of like envisioning the Golden Aegis and the Lulu and the Challenger and getting a big takedown on some of this stuff. My visions are always perfect. I can see this working out okay. The Rek'Sai on top. All right, well, we got ourselves a good open. That's something. We hopefully get to protect our Lulu for a bit as well. All right. It just puts it on top. Am I missing something? I don't feel like I'm missing something. Alright, we can get the Yordle captain down, but he just trades with anything our opponent plays. The size of our units don't matter in terms of blocking. They do matter on the following turn. I think we just try to go for the width here. See if we can't pick up some good blocks along the way, and then try to build to a good Golden Aegis attack on the following turn. Maybe we should have played the Squire first. I don't think Paporo's ever going to make it. But we would have rather just traded out the Squire there. I'm actually kind of interested in this Aloof Travelers. If we get to pop a Blood in the Water with this thing, The 5-drops coming out of Lurk are pretty powerful. Like, we can't do anything about Rek'Sai, but if we hit the rally card out, it seems kind of okay. He deploys Pike. Maybe we have enough time for the Golden Aegis. Let's see. Gonna go ahead and put it on the tracker. Maybe we should have put it on Lulu, right? I think this is okay still. He says, "Uh-oh, Bust, you boomed me with that one." That's what opponent's saying right now, in case she didn't pick up on it. Okay, I'm going to leave Lulu back. I don't feel like we need to trade her with the Sharkling. And we might get a pretty good Whimsy at some point. Once he moves into playing dumb shit like Jawfish and playing the big overwhelmed dude, the Whimsy might turn out to be useful. You know how they do it, coming out and playing the big dumb overwhelmed dude. Alright, so what's the draw? Would like to drop 2 units on the turn. I think we can get the Travelers down next turn. Jawfish costs 8, and so we can try and pop a Jawfish on our opponent's next turn. Let's go for the Yordle Explorer and go for the Poppy here. But what I was going to say is if we didn't pick up a 1 or a 2 drop, I was going to play the Aloof Travelers to try and pick up another unit that we could play. I really want to be adding 2 units on this turn. So this is a lot of it. Oh, friend. Give it one of these. Can we ever get lethal here? No, if we grow the Yordle Explorer first, Poppy won't bring enough to the table. Okay. All right, we're close. He's got, he has Rek'Sai in hand. He might have 2 Rek'Sais, but see if we can't do it. Poppy draw is actually kind of interesting as well. Just send him right back. Like the Rek'Sai is not lethal though, but like we just have to make it to next turn, and this is pretty bad if he has a second one. But like the card that worries me now is like the Rally, and if he wants to play the Rally, it's just not gonna work with this board. I think this is good. So it's like if he has a second Rek'Sai, he can't Rally, and we don't have to worry about her anymore. Cool, GG. Whew, those Lurkers games always make you squeeze them. And alright, I figured it out yesterday, one of life's great questions. You Americans may already know, but the question is, from all the Europeans, why are Americans so fat? And like, it took me a long time to figure it out, and I really came upon the answer yesterday. And so we went to the local Mexican place, and then, you always start with a few margaritas, and then, like, you just order it, and you know that it's going to be, like, fucking gigantic. It's going to be, like, the largest burrito that you've ever seen. And it's probably going to be, like, 3 to 4 servings of food. But once you get in there, and you're, like, 2 margaritas deep, and you look at it, you just go challenge accepted, you know. They brought me this food. It would be downright disrespectful if I didn't eat it. And so you just kind of, like, decide quickly that you're going to eat the whole thing. and then you get kind of like halfway through it, and you're just like, well, I don't know, I can't take it back. Like, I'm not going to take it home. Like, it's just not enough now to take home. And so I'm just going to go ahead and finish it. And then you get like 3/4 of the way through it, and you really hate yourself at this point. But, you know, there's no quit. There's no quit at that point. You got to just give it your all and see if you can't finish everything. And it's a mistake, you know. But it's like whenever you're a kid or a teenager or whatever, and you know, somebody drops the classic line on you. It's absolute classic. You say, "I bet you won't do it," and then you just have to do it at that point. There's no stopping, and so I feel like it's kind of the same thing. You're saying, "I bet you won't do it, bruh. I bet you won't eat the whole fucking burrito," and so that's how you finish with like 3 margaritas and 1,700 calories a burrito. It's I made it. I didn't finish the whole thing. I got to like that 3/4 fight, and I was like, God, I hate myself, but I'm not gonna stop. And then eventually, I just called it quits. I hate myself so much. It's like with Thanksgiving dinner, right? I forget what comedian had the line. It was like Louis C.K. or someone. Maybe it was Bill Burr. It feels like a Bill Burr kind of line. Where they just say, Thanksgiving dinner's not over until you hate yourself. It's essentially the same thing. Oh man, it's good to can't get over them tasty burritos. What the fuck, True Shot Barrage? Okay. Can we just open lethal next turn? Where are we at? Alright, give me them attack swords. Surprise. 5 attack. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 11. And then we can spread out 2 spears. Do we just go big with the spears? We're 100% opening. Or do we want to spread them out? It's going to take him 2 removal spells to take down the Bright Steel. But if we go onto the smaller ones, it gives him the opportunity to just play, say, a Static Shock. That's tough. Like, these anti-decks, they play both Disintegrate and Scorched Earth. He has a Static Shock. Okay. We just picked the wrong one. But I think we're still in an okay space here. But at least from the anti-decks I've seen, they do tend to play both 3 copies of Disintegrate and then 2 or 3 copies of Scorched Earth. And so it's not ultra safe for loading up the Bright Steel Protector. I guess it does. The Scorched Earth is a bad example. We got Impact, bro. I didn't play the Yordle Smith because I assumed that we would just be able to spend all of our mana this turn, and now that's incorrect.
The world's a big place. Let's see all of it.
He actually attacks with Annie. That's scary. He's not gonna flip. Just he's just saying, hey, bro, I've got the Disintegrate in hand. FYI. All right. I think we've lost this one. We don't quite have the reach to get ourselves out of this. We have to get a Golden Aegis, but it's like the Golden Aegis is just a little bit too far behind now. Okay. That's not Tibbers, right? Okay, that's Tybelak. I was like, Tibbers would be terrifying here. What we got? Fleet Feather Tracker. Okay, GG. And so that's like, I don't know. I don't know what the correct answer there is. I feel like there at the end of the game you had the Disintegrate anyways. But that's the, you know, that's one of those things to where if you're in the like the finals of an event and you have to make the decision: do they have the Static Shock or do they have the Disintegrate? And you pick one, and they have the opposing card, and it just feels brutal. It's so brutal when that comes up, but it's the way it is. It seems like, I don't know. I don't know the correct one to pick there. Interesting. I'll take down this bird given the chance. Aw. It's not where we wanted the stats to fall. Oh. Well. I am okay with just taking down a Durandi Sculptor. And here I want the spear. If we need to boost our Poppy, I'm going to want the spear to do it. Uh-oh. He's dropping the GGs already. No way it was that easy. Okay, I think it's okay if he ends up passing on us. We have the Golden Aegis to build up to a turn or two from now. Do we ever do it this turn? Not now.
Exploration and exportation.
Okay. So he's still got a decent hook, right? He's got this Broadwing hook onto something. If this gets a sharp sight, whatever. Single combat's fine. Leaves us kind of in the same space. Let's see what he does. I think this is like in the same spot to where ooh, he brings it open. Okay. We're going to have to worry about Golden Aegis now. So let's start with the Yordle Squire, see what he does. I'm not opposed to just playing Paparo this turn. He's got a Golden Aegis. So let's play Paparo. He's tradable. And then we'll follow up with Poppy next turn. Okay. Now, I think we have to lead with Poppy, right? If his first play of the turn is a Golden Aegis, then we're gonna want to just open into it. Okay. Big stat boost this turn. So if we're gonna start boosting units, we have to boost Poppy. And then we can boost to the sky, I guess. Did we do that in the wrong order? We messed that up, didn't we? We're not going to have quick attack on our good units. Whoops. If we put you on the end, does that fix it? I bet it doesn't. It at least gives it to Paparo. Alright, I'm sorry, Poppy. I messed that up. I'm sorry, Poppy. FTP bust ain't perfect. Still a pretty good turn, though. There's no denying that's still a pretty good turn. Get this shark trainer up in this piece.
A slight adjustment.
Sure.
Truth is no bad thing.
All right, here comes the good stuff. Not worried about his rally. Our attack is just way better. Does everybody get quick attack now? Excellent. Look at all them stats. Feels so good. Oh, that feels good. It's a little sloppy. If we had a Poppy with this attack, this game would be pretty dunzos, but learn from my mistakes. That's what we're always about, right? Bust isn't that good at this game. You guys gotta learn from my mistakes. We still got this barrier Yordle Smith down here. This attack does not seem advisable. Alright, what else are we getting done this turn? Do we want to play the Shark Trainer? Maybe. Maybe not. We're not going to get that opportunity. Alright. If you haven't seen our games with the Alawi and Ionia, that's what I think is probably the best Alawi deck in the format. I'm not like really sure on all the exact numbers in it, but I really like the OTK aspects coming out of it, and then being able to protect your stuff with denies and syncopates and stuff. I was really a big fan of the mono Alawi. You don't need the other champions in there, right? They don't really add to your game plan, and so. We had quite a bit of success with it in the gauntlets. But all right, here I'm not really amped about keeping Conchologist against Darkness. It just comes down and trades too easily and doesn't push our aggressive themes that we need against that kind of deck. And so we found a much better upgrade in the Brightsteel Protector. It should let us get in good attacks with Lulu at some point. And now. That's kind of interesting. Wonder if we're going to be protected next turn with Lulu.
Only I can command darkness. Only I.
Okay.
Rejoice with genius. Defensive stance.
We're not gonna get a soul crushing attack here. He's probably just gonna take the 7. But not a bad set of cards to pick up against Darkness. He has the Vile Feast. Considering we should have done that in the previous turn. Just protected the dude from a Vile Feast. I just didn't expect it to come in. Alright. It's up to 3 damage now. We've been thoroughly outplayed by this Darkness guy. I think everything would just be perfect here if we had if we'd protected in the right way.
My shield is yours. Rabadon? Rabahoo? Travel is, of course, its own reward.
Okay, let's just make a sad noise and push forward. I think it's okay if he drops the Darkness on the Lulu. We have a second one ready.
Let the commerce commence.
The second one actually feels better with us getting the chance to Tiny Shield. So many Withering Mists today. Shit's annoying.
There's nothing a good giggle can't fix. Whoa, dizzy.
Another expedition?
And beautiful.
Alright, we'll try out this. We're gonna get our Lulu Darkness tier, but we're at least building up some board. We really need a Paparo here. We gotta need a card advantage-y kind of thing. Yordle Squire's not it. Or it would have been nice if we could have Golden Aegis to protect the Lulu. We'll go for bonus attack now. The Darknesses will kill everything in our deck. Sad noises.
Follow me. I know where I'm going.
Yep.
My shield
All right, well, let's see where this gets us. We have to start playing the Golden Aegis here. His blocks aren't great. We have the ability to chunk in some damage, and then if we draw a decent set of units next turn or something, we might be able to pull something off. No, this one's done. Let's be real. And so that's tough. That's tough. Like I think we would have won that game handily if we had preemptively played the shield. It was like I kind of had in my head that we need to protect ourselves from Vile Feast, and then he didn't have the mana, so I was like, yeah, we can just wait. And then just wait was not the not the appropriate way for that turn to go. But then that stuff just snowballs, right? We have the challenger unit to stop his board. Our Lulu does fall to the same path, but he just like runs out of blockers much quicker, and it was just a snowball effect. That's why I mentioned quite a bit with the aggro decks, and just that one little misstep is oftentimes enough to just completely take you out of the game. As to where the control decks have a little bit more flex to them. Like if you play the wrong removal spell, it tends to not be nearly as damaging. All right, up against the old sea monsters. We played against a bit of the sea monsters. We ran it in our previous Gauntlet video. I'm not a huge fan of the deck. I don't think it's very good, but we could just be playing poorly. I'm not a huge fan of Maokai anymore either. I don't feel like the deck needs it.
Give me the stuff. Stuff makes happy.
Okay, a nice quick attack challenge. Sure. Leaning towards Lulu. They're like a removal package is Vile Feasts, Vengeances, and then the thing that does 2 damage. And so I don't really want to just run Paparo directly into that. We should be able to get a big board with the Yordle captains. We might end up losing out on something this turn, but man, it's so tough for him to deal with 3/4/4 quick attackers, or 3/3 and the others are a little bigger. But enjoy the blocks. Now we get to grow all of our dudes, have a big open on our next turn. Seems good. Depends on how quick he can get on board now. That wasn't very quick. I checked the mathematics on that one. That was not getting on board. All right, rip Lulu. So who do we go with here? It's more stats to just not play Paparo. It does suck that the Bell Ringers don't get the bonus from the Yordle Explorer, but everything does get the bonus from the Yordle Captain. Do we need to circle it back around, though? The Yordle Smith no longer gets to boost our team. I think I just like getting the stats on board. Then if he gets overly clever this turn, I'm happy to Rangers resolve. He's thinking on something. He said, "Bus, don't boom me too hard." Don't bring them booms too hard. God, quit fucking calling me. I gotta go and donate blood today. Just call after call after call. I'll be there. I promise you. I'm making YouTube videos, so fuck off. Fuck off, dudes. I'm making the YouTube videos. All right, looks good. We'll get a big open in here. We're not gonna lethal, but we're getting close. We just need our rally at this point. We could have preemptively boosted the Yordle Smith, but Yeah, it seems kind of sketchy. We're just going to get a good Sharp Sight this turn, or we get a good Ranger's Resolve this turn. Don't think we want to play both. But we'll see. If he starts bringing removal spells or something in on us, we can still Ranger's Resolve. No, thank you. It does suck that it puts the dude back on top of his deck, but at least we don't lose any units otherwise. This massive Paparo down as well. Devori Blade Scout. Is that how we're going to win this game? Are we going to boom him with this this elusive Blade Scout? It wouldn't be the strangest way we've stolen victory. I don't think we're going to get to do it. But I mean, it feels pretty good if his angle here is to play the beast from below, or whatever the 6 mana now 5 mana sea monster is that eats a dude. Devour of the Depths, there he is.
Quest will be over quicker and you can fry a ferret.
And a salvage. Okay. So everyone should have quick attack here. Makes his block with the Deadbloom Wanderer much worse. The Wanderer is going to have to block way down to the right on Paparo. Fuck. Feels like we're going to struggle if he has like a Vengeance, though. Okay, we can take one block. I don't want to fall into Atrocity range. And then the Devourer of the Depths should do some dying to combats now. I still don't feel really good about this game. I think we're just like a touch too short. So everybody got quick attack. Okay. Yeah. We need 2 units to connect, and he has 4 blockers. I just don't think that happens frequently enough. I think he's often just going to have a Vengeance or a Vile Feast or something just to get a shutdown, and then we have a real problem actually winning the game. Playing Salvage, though. That could be nice. They have the Drain is what would work off of the blocks like this. The 2 damage Drain, whatever it's called. It's a new card. Looks like somebody drew a Vile Feast. Okay. F. There's the one I was talking about, Undergrowth. So I think we're just like too short at this point. We'll of course try, but it's like if he has Nautilus and another sea monster, we're really going to struggle. Alright, Paparo. You gotta do it. You got a hard carry here, my friend. Probably should have played that Yordle Explorer last turn as well. We ran into that problem earlier. We're trying to be too cute with this thing. Just put it down. Yep. Alright, so we're dead to Atrocity now, which is a unfortunate place to be. He did mill 1 away, I believe. Or he milled out he milled out 1 Atrocity. At least we typically play 2. Some people play varying numbers of them, but we'll see. I feel like he'd just be acting a lot quicker if he had an Atrocity in his hand. Oh my god, we got a hit for 8 damage next turn? We're fucked. we're fucked in this one. Let's be real. Oh, this is our opportunity, though. This attack with the Devourer of the Depths is not advisable. We don't have enough to follow up with here. Like, maybe it would have been okay if we'd played the Explorer last turn, and then we could play the Yordle Ranger this turn. He's still a pretty terrible open. But let's see where we're at. We don't have to block everything. We just have to block 2.
Oh, I can fix that.
Okay.
Alright, yeah, we're dead. Okay, GG. It's so not a bad set of games. We can get this one pulled up and talk about it a little more. I still like this in terms of these Poppy rally decks. The only things that I'm not like super sold on here is I tend to like to play 3 Fleet Feather Trackers, and I like to play 1 or 2 of the Vanguard, whatever not the Vanguard, the Challenger, the 2/4 Challenger for 3. And that just gives you like a little bit more play with Lulu. They all work nicely with Poppy, but it does start to like piece you away from the Yordles kind of themes. And so I could like see arguments for pulling out Bird, and then replacing Bird with like a Fleet Feather Tracker, and then maybe like one of the other challengers. But I really like having all of this early game package in here. Maybe the answer is just to trade out a Bird for a Fleet Feather Tracker or something to get the additional one, or maybe you want to fit in another Bright Steel Protector. There's some play in the numbers there. You might even want to take Conchologist out. We just mulligan it away every single time today. But I still think this is a pretty good base for a deck, whether or not that is for best of 3 or for just the ladder in general. It is kind of an unfortunate space to where this deck does struggle against Viego, but it's pretty strong against just about everything else, and it can definitely hold its own against any deck in the format. And so this should be, a pretty decent ladder climber for you. I hope you got to kind of experience Paparo a bit. He's absolutely fantastic. And I think another thing to kind of consider across all of those games was I think we drew Poppy like twice. And that is one of the big kind of key build around cards of what we're trying to pull off. And so with all of those things combined, it's still turning out to be like a break even. I think that's a pretty reasonable set of games. And so, yeah, it's a good one to do battle with. I, of course, enjoy it. I love being on the aggro end of the spectrum and getting these attacks in here, and always have a good time with this style of deck. I'm curious what it would take to really kind of like push Yordles up into like the top tiers. If like it feels like really close. I know Yordle Explorer had to get nerfed. This used to give +1/+1, and that was just too much. But the kind of like growing synergies here are all pretty strong, and so it's good stuff. I think you ought to give it a shot, and so I've enjoyed it thoroughly. But nonetheless, that is gonna do it for us today. Hope everyone enjoyed the video. You something I don't know, something with the Yordles. I thought I had a Yordle pun in my head and it just slipped me, and I'm not going back for it. And so do whatever it is. Hope you learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.